Alrighty, patch 6.1 Newfound Adventure. Just finished the dungeon and found the Void Sent portal, which I totally called. So obviously, also if you're watching this live or watching this in VOD form, spoilers if you haven't played the 6.1 story, or if you're playing it along. So why are you watching right now? Unless you don't care. So we continue onward with, I do believe, quest 5 of 8. A brother's grief. Ystola is appraising the void gate with a scholarly eye. Oh, the staring daggers into me was so good. Oh, it was great. Loved it. All right, talk to me.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory.
Flashback?
An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Mericidia.
Ooh.
The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors.
Let's go, Mericidia, Dragon Island. Ooh, flashback.
With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities. In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void.
Yep.
Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Void Sent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Dragons are very old.
I did.
Yeah, they're super old.
I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. Along with my sibling, Ashdaya.
The other dragon we haven't heard about much yet. We've only heard about her,
We
them in
dragons are
name.
not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me.
Yeah. Awesome.
I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-Sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength.
Crystal Tower. Saw the Crystal Tower in the corner there.
I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
That's why we haven't heard much about her.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Alagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more. Until Alag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Radzat was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
With hope in my heart, I used a simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her.
He's powerful enough to actually keep control?
What I found was a host of void scent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Razathan and abandoning your sister. And you chose the latter.
Damn.
'Twas not that thy sibling scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
Yep.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness.
True. I thought our time had come. I remember when Nero turned purple. Oh my god, these silly, spicy lines are so good. Yeah, Nero did save us. He put on his crazy Iron Man suit and started getting corrupted, but he at least got us out of the portal and then stumbled through at the very end. I can't help myself right now. It's so good. Nero did turn purple.
Turn purple?
Yes.
Well, yes. His wounds had allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether.
Indeed.
Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
I'm giving these cats a hard time.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
No. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities.
Well, she's been there a long time.
The scales of the first brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
Yeah, but for how long? She's been there for like, how many hundreds, if not thousands of years?
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late.
Yeah, thousands of years.
And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection.
True.
So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course.
It's not gonna close properly now.
Only to forget the rest.
Something's gonna happen. Oh, I guess not. I wonder if that line with your Stola will actually trigger different dialogue, or if it's just that, just for the moment. Ooh, the first brood has been added to the Unending Codex and Ether as well. And character, maybe? It's in collection. So just collection. Oh, wait over there. What the hell? Unending Codex. Holy crap, suddenly so many things. Got Estinian in here. Oh boy. Graha. Kryl. Y'shtola. Hydaelyn. Suddenly. The Reflections. The Crystal Tower. Urianger. Vritra. The First Brood. And Yaether. Or Ether in this tongue. In this parlance. This art is so awesome. Okay. That was a story dump. Goodness gracious me. Vritra's grief for a lost sibling will be no mystery to Estinian. His hath been a life entwined with sorrow, even before he became host to Nidhogg's essence. 13th, what chaos must consume that world? I wonder how one of the First Brood could simply vanish and leave no trace of her passage. Now I have my answer. Millennia have passed since I last saw her, but I see Azhdaya in memory still, clear and vivid. Yeah, so 5,000 years is a long time. Not entirely sure. It'd be cool. I have mail. It'll be neat to see how that pans out. I don't know if we have enough quests to go that far now. So they managed not only to expand the fissure, but also manipulate it as one might a gate. Astonishing. Is there any chance I could learn more of how this feat was accomplished? I will tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible and arrange to replace the Guardians you so hastily destroyed. It will not do to leave the gate undefended. My apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover the vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we would be happy to offer our assistance. That will not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, we keep duplicate guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Radzadhan. Bit of a story reason why you can keep re-clearing the dungeon, because they have... That's a little dumb, though. He just replaces them, and then we come here and destroy them again. But also, is Vritra killing people? Considering other people have tried to get to this vault and have never returned. So, what happens to them? Eh? That was great. That was a great dungeon. Really good, really good. The mimic, the illusory wall. Absolutely fantastic. Really good stuff. I quite enjoyed that. I did. Is there a mailbox over here? There is. I mean, I sent a whole bunch of random minions to people, so there's probably people replying. I don't know. Hello. I wish I could get a beard that glorious. Bet he's got some quality conditioner. I sent Dalthir a wind-up Ramu. I had lots and lots and lots of minions from the 50 minion crate opening thing, which again, the video's right here on the channel. You can go watch that if you want to see me opening 50 material containers. And I sold many of them and then gave a lot of the other minions away. I just randomly sent them to people or sent a bunch to Gorek because I don't know how many minions he has. And then at least some of the higher ticket ones that I did not have, I learned myself. But also put a bunch up on the market board. I've made like 150-ish thousand gil or so, maybe a little more. I wonder if there's a quest NPC there. Excuse me. There's much about the Void Gate that I cannot even begin to explain. I must convince Vritra to share everything he knows. And while I am loath to keep Kryl waiting much longer, I cannot bring myself to leave before hearing more of Vritra's tale. Vritra speaks as if Ajudaya is a lost cause, but I wager he feels differently in his heart of hearts. This is quite the gathering. To what do we owe the pleasure? Exposition! I promise we will discuss the Void Gate further, but first I must attend to the matter of the Vault's Sentinels. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Kapakulu has been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring a new one out of storage and see that it is... Oh crap, it's automatic. See that it is conveyed to the vault. Always forget to toggle that back on and off. Was it tomb robbers? Fiends born of the Tower of Zot? By the sisters, do not tell me a blasphemy at Rome's free. No, it's my fault. I spammed glare and hit it with the flatus misery. The half eyeball closed. Not really hiding it very well, are we? Oh, what the? Urianger, come on. The shifty eyes? It was us. We destroyed them. And the mimics, too. Why such guilty faces? Surely it wasn't you who were responsible for the... Oh. Well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. Whoops. And I'll do it again. That Urianger eyeball shifting back and forth, that's a gif right there. That's definitely a gif. And the Y'shtola, like, head cocked with, like, the eyeball twitch, like the half eyeball open, that's a gif. And with that, the vault will soon be secure once more. Now I believe you had questions. Quite a few, in fact. But I'd like to begin with the gate itself. Is it still functional, yes? Indeed. Which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemically forged lock and warded it with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. So much effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. As said, in its current state, it would admit only the lowliest of void scent. And from this side, no man would be able to pass through. No man. I should think Alphino would fit. Give enough firm enough push. Which one is are we talking about, blue Alphino or red Alphino? Physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges on the etheric density of the soul in transit. Ah. Yet you succeeded in expanding this diminutive portal and sending your simulacrum to the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemists. I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead I bade them devise a means to control it. After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. but the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up searching for Ajdaya, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus has the gate lain dormant for years uncounted. Our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. Yeah, we still go there in the Alliance raid. I mean, that's just gameplay, not lore. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with the Cloud of Darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken, the doorway severed from its connection to the void. Yeah, we can't go back. We went once in the quest line back at ARR. So that's the only time we've ever gone there, because the visage of the Cloud of Darkness from the Eden raid is just a projection. It's a computer simulation, not real. We're not actually on the 13th. Theoretically, it would be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void scent, but such deals usually end in betrayal and death. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the Bounty Gate. Mayhap we could resume our search for your sister, or your search for your sister. As I have already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. I meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? Treasure?
Just straight up treasure. You know, gold, rubies, doubloons, emeralds, you know, giant things that have a lot of monetary value because, you know...
To see if the legends were true, it was all Estinian. Oh, come on. It was all Estinian's idea. I mean, it wasn't. That's a good jab, but I only take jabs at the kiddies because they're dorks. I mean, so's Estinian, but let's just say it to see if the legends were true. We've already joked enough. We've joked enough. As you have seen, the fabulous wealth from the stories is quite real, if not its rumored origin. Oh, if not its rumored origin, but I'm afraid I must assert a prior claim. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little, but the time has come to spend it that I might alleviate my people's suffering. Then we are of one mind. We have no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend? Well... There are so many gifable Y'shtola moments. I mean, she's done that before, but this is a really clean frame of her doing the thinking face. Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I would make no attempt to open it, of course.
Unless...
I owe you and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask for me, you shall have it. You are most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission and open the gate and let something in or out. I mean, it probably won't be her fault, but well, that I could join thee in thy study with the Loperates will be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave of you. Hit it with the nod. And I must be off to Charlian as well. Mistress Carl was eager to speak with you about that request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you are able. Farewell for now. So that's like the next patch, or Thancred's got the next patch. They're setting up all these little breadcrumbs. I already had a half a bagel today, though. I don't think I really need any more carbs. Got enough carbs right here. We can discuss my findings once I return. You'll not be rid of me so easily. What about those piercing daggers through my entire being earlier? That was so good, so good. May I undertake the Chronicles of a New Era quest series, Myths of the Realm. Speak with the fresh-faced student of the Baldessian Annex to accept this first quest. This is the Alliance Raid, which we'll be probably doing tomorrow. Probably not. Maybe Friday. Alliance Raid Friday. I hope you enjoyed that expedition, at least. Otherwise, it was a heavy purse to pay for a treasure map leading to a treasure we couldn't keep. Well, what about the pursuit of knowledge? The difficult part in all this will be deciding how best to put these riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Of course, or anything to make up for the contracts we broke. Oh, yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah. Then think of your employment as a recompense. Serve as my guest advisors, and I will consider the broken constructs paid for in full. Faye and I are together in this. I will follow his example. It's so loud right here. Because the freaking giant alchemical machine next to me. So damn loud. Meanwhile, elsewhere. The Void Boy? The Void Boy. Who is this, I wonder? Who? That's a void symbol. New phone, who dis? Okay, different elements. Astral and umbral elements. Yo, it's chaos. Is it the Dark Knight? Symbol on the ground in the shadow there. Saw that. It's a mask. I sensed the breaching of the gate, but it was not instigated from this side. It was thrown open from the other. These elemental thrones are talking? I too felt it. A rare occurrence, yes, but such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There is more pressing matters at hand. This is very void sent, but the elements are also very the 12? Because they all have different elemental affinities. Fire, earth, wind, etc. Light and dark. Huh. But we're in some weird Kingdom Hearts void room. An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we have awaited for nigh on 10,000 years. We dare not let it slip our grasp. Yet we must not underestimate he who bested the cloud of darkness. Even restrained by a covenant, the cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. I wonder if this whole void elemental throne thing is from a different game, or is this all brand new story? I can't remember this being an old Final Fantasy villain arc reference thing. The void boy with the crazy armor, that's why I wonder, is he the Black Knight? I think the Black Knight had an actual name though, and I can't remember it. Ah, let him come. I will drown the world and watch this fleshling gasp for breath in his final moments. Hey, who's this boy? Knight in Black! I mean, it's easy to guess that because the shoulder pads and stuff, but this is a character from a different Final Fantasy game. I have to look it up. Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back to our struggles beneath this sunless sky. Remember why we cede not our will to fight. Yeah, the one eyeball. It's time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star. So these are the void sent that want their star. Why are they? Do they think they're threatened? Who's threatening them? Is the story gonna make us feel sorrow and remorse for the Void Sent. Clearly, we're going to learn more about them, just like we did the Ascians. So we're going to, like, you know, fall in love with our enemies and still defeat them kind of a story? Or what's this going to go with? I don't wonder. Okay, that's a hard cut. Good lord. So yeah, I got to look up Final Fantasy Knight in Black. So loud. I mean, the Black Knight is a class. But yeah, from Strangers in Paradise, the Black Knight is a boss. Yep, there he is. Black Knights were skilled swordsmen clad in armor, flowing capes. They served the Fiend of Wind, Tiamat. That's gonna be different in this story because Tiamat's a dragon. Was it a bunch of the was in PSX, Game Boy Advance, PSP, on the NES. Typical stock character used in fantasy and medieval literature that is usually an evil knight. The legend of the Black Knight originates in the practice of knights without a liege, or whose liege did not want identified, who would not bear heraldic standard or heraldic standard. So loud. Black is the darkest color at the extreme end of the grayscale opposite white. The word comes from the Old English blick, a knight who was a mounted soldier serving under a feudal king during the Middle Ages. The original NES release, the Black Knight, was given the generic name Badman. Yeah, so Final Fantasy II? The Black Knight, aka Badman, NES release, original Final Fantasy. Also flagged as Final Fantasy II for some reason, but it looks like it's original Final Fantasy. It was just like an enemy, like a boss. Yeah. They're just an enemy in the Flying Fortress. So it's obviously going to be more akin and built into the... Yeah, boss from the 2D and 3D versions of Final Fantasy IV. Final Fantasy IV, the After Years. Apparently it's also a fish in Final Fantasy XIV. An enemy in Dimensions and a summon in Dimensions 2. Okay. It's gonna definitely be tailored in a way to fit the Void Sense story instead. Very cool. Okay, that's the same exact dialogue from Estinian. Alrighty. I think we will leave this quest here. And we will pick this up soon. This should be quest 6, if I'm recalling correctly. Yeah, so we'll pick up with sharing the wealth tomorrow on the next stream, as Varshan wishes to discuss the distribution of the treasure. Open with that. End on the very interesting mystery of this new character, the Knight in Black, and see how that ties to the Void Scent and the elemental thrones that are clearly a thing on the 13th. Very interesting. We shall see. Do I have an emote for that? Do I have the thinking emoji? Where's the... Come on. I don't know if I have it. Gonna do the... I don't know if you have that emote. You face palm. Clutch head. Yeah, it's a... there it is. There's think. I just got phased through. What the... Come on. All right. So more MSQ later. We'll finish it tomorrow, I think. Maybe. 3 more quests.